देखो, आपके ये जो एग्जाम होगा ये आपका 3 घंटे और 15 मिनट का होगा, जिसमें कि 2 सेक्शन आएंगे। SBL का पेपर अलग होता है, बट आई एम टॉकिंग फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ ऑल द अदर स्ट्रेटेजिक प्रोफेशनल एग्जाम्स, सो विच विल इंक्लूड SBR। सो आपके SBR में क्या होगा, 2 सेक्शंस आएंगे और उसमें सारे के सारे क्वेश्चन कंपलसरी होंगे, ठीक है। और सब में आपको जान के खुशी होगी कि दोनों में आपको 4-4 प्रोफेशनल मार्क्स मिलेंगे। प्रोफेशनल मार्क्स मतलब द वे यू प्रेजेंट द पेपर, उसके बेसिस पर, एंड द वे यू राइट, उसके बेसिस पर ये डिसाइड किया जाएगा कि आपकी लेवल ऑफ प्रेजेंटेशन एंड लेवल ऑफ थिंकिंग कौन से लेवल की है। सो इफ द इंस्टीट्यूट थिंक्स दैट यू आर, यस यू आर अ प्रोफेशनल एंड यू आर राइटिंग थिंग्स प्रोफेशनली, तो वो आपको ये 4-4 नंबर जो आपके मार्क्स हैं 4-4 वो दे देगा, राइट। तो 8 मार्क्स तो आपको ऐसे ही मिल गए। 50 नंबर आपको पास करने के लिए चाहिए, बट आपका एम होना चाहिए टू स्कोर मोर देन 90+, बिकॉज दिस इज वन पेपर जहां पे 90+ आ सकते हैं। एंड ट्रस्ट मी, पीपल हैव डन इट। तो ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं है जो नहीं हो सकती, राइट। तो अब स्ट्रेटेजिक प्रोफेशनल पेपर्स जितने भी हैं आपके, बीट SBR, SBL, AFM, APM, वो जितने भी AFM, APM, ATAX, AAA, वो जितने भी पेपर है, वो बोलते हैं कि भाई सिर्फ आपको पढ़ करके आंसर नहीं करना, आपको ऐसे सोचना है कि आप अपनी वर्क प्लेस पर हो, आप अपनी वर्क प्लेस पर बैठ करके क्लाइंट के लिए किस तरह के सॉल्यूशंस दोगे, उस उस एंगल से, उस पर्सपेक्टिव से आपको सोच करके काम करना। और आपको बहुत सारी चीजें जैसे कि वर्ड प्रोसेसर, MS वर्ड, स्प्रेडशीट, एक्सेल, प्रेजेंटेशन, ये सब कुछ यूज करना पड़ेगा, राइट। क्योंकि एक्चुअली देखो, अगर आप रियल लाइफ में जाओगे ना, तो रियल लाइफ में क्या यूज होता है, क्या हम पेन और पेपर पे लिखते हैं कुछ भी रियल लाइफ में? ऑफिस में आप दोनों ही आई थिंक ऑफिस में काम करते हो, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, बोथ ऑफ यू आर वर्किंग इन एन ऑफिस। तो क्या आप पेन और पेपर यूज करते हो? नहीं यूज करते। क्या यूज करते हो? कंप्यूटर यूज करते हो, एक्सेल का यूज करते हो, PPT यूज करते हो, कभी कभी MS वर्ड भी यूज करते हो, राइट। तो you need to start using that more often, less writing and more on the computer based side. You need to write less and do more on the computer, right? So you need to be good with your Excel skills. You need to be, I mean, if not proficient, you need to be average at least to pass these exams. And you need speed. So सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट जो चीज है वो है स्पीड। तो आप लोग के लिए स्पीड बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाएगी। So now you are at the professional level. I welcome you all to the professional level of this examination and congratulate you कि आप लोग इतने सारे एग्जाम पास करके आ चुके हैं, right? And the most important part in any exam, be it this exam, be it any other exam, is to read the examination paper and understand what is required of you, right? So on that note, see, SBR paper is linked with FR, FA, which is F3. So FR, FA, and AAA. In AAA, you might be asked some IFRS standards. You might be asked revenue recognition. You might be asked consolidation in AAA, which is also there in SBR. So if you do this properly, it will help you in AAA, right? So अभी आपका जो एग्जामिनेशन पेपर आएगा उसमें 2 सेक्शन आएंगे, एक आएगा सेक्शन A और एक आएगा सेक्शन B। सेक्शन A में आपके 2 सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस होंगे, एक आपको सिनेरियो दे दिया जाएगा और 2 क्वेश्चन उस सिनेरियो के बेसिस पे पूछे जाएंगे। जो पहला क्वेश्चन होगा, सो जस्ट look at the clear cut structure of your paper. कितना clear cut बोल रखा है कि भाई पहला क्वेश्चन ग्रुप एंटिटीज मतलब कंसोलिडेशन से आएगा. Just imagine syllabus area D, which is consolidation group entities. We'll just go through the syllabus in a while, but just imagine you know कि पहला क्वेश्चन कौन सा आना है. So यहाँ पे कोई ambiguity नहीं होती. ACCA का best part है that there is no ambiguity. So your first question will be from the consolidation part, and the good part is, the good thing is that you don't have to do too many calculations over there. There are calculations like in calculating the non-controlling interest, right? So all those things you might need to calculate, but you don't need to make the balance sheet. You need to interpret. What you need to do is you need to interpret. So in addition to the consideration of the numerical aspects, you need to discuss and explain the numbers. So your first question is going to be 30 marks. So just one section, syllabus area D, if you are through with it, just imagine 30 marks will be given to you. तो 30 नंबर आप लोग के पक्के हो जाएंगे. मैं जो बोल रहा हूं, इज दैट मेकिंग सेंस समृद्धि एंड मने? मने आपका कोई भी रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ रहा है. मने great. If it's making sense, very good. So in the second question will be worth 20 marks, and you will, and the best part about the second question is that it is the easiest of the lot because it has ethical implications. So it will give you scenarios. If you've studied ethics, so there are 4 things: confidentiality, integrity, professional behavior. There's one more thing which I'm forgetting. Can you guys just type it out? Confidentiality, integrity, honesty, professional behavior. These are the pillars of your ethics. So if you can interpret these in the given scenario, that what implication this scenario will have and your behavior in a particular scenario will have, so you can very easily you can get those 20 marks as well, right? So through with section A, come to section B. In section B, you will have 2 questions which will be of 25 marks each. In section B, you will have case study or essay based, and it will have both. You will need to compute certain things and it will have discussion elements as well, right? Fair representation, I think that is part of your framework of the accounting framework. True and fair view and faithful representation. So that is part of your accounting framework. That is not part of your ethical framework. Ethical framework is given to us by our institute, which is the ACCA. So it wants you to behave professionally, to have confidentiality, to have integrity, to have honesty, to show professional behavior, right? So these 4 things it demands of us, and that's what it wants to test, right? So in section B, you will always have a full question or part of a question that requires the appraisal of financial or non-financial information from either preparers or another stakeholders' perspective. So you might be given that from the perspective of shareholders. Tell us what is the implication of this financial information. Suppose management is selling something off. Management is selling off a large part of its fixed asset. So it wants you to consider the implication from the point of view of stakeholders, shareholders, or maybe banker, or it could be some other stakeholder, could be debtor, or could be your employee or director. So then you'll need to think that, okay, going concern is being affected. Okay, IFRS 116 might, IAS 16 might be affected, which is property, plant and equipment, right? Yes, no, if you are selling a large part of a fixed asset, there is a threat of going concern that you might not be able to continue in the near future. Or if a large customer on whom 60 to 70% of your sales are dependent, then it might be, I mean, it might concern you as to the longevity of your business. You might not be able to continue in the near future if that happens, right? So you need to, we'll study about everything, and you might be given a question where you need to give your own comments from the point of view of a certain stakeholder. So this is just what I'm telling you, how you need to appear, how you need to go through, how you need to approach the paper, how you need to approach your exam, right? There could be some current issues which we will discuss in syllabus area F, which will be examined in section A or B, but the current issues will not be a full question. So it is likely to form part of another question, right? And trust me, SBR, I think, is the easiest paper, because once you are done with 9 papers and you have certain tough papers in that, like AA, like PM. So there are certain difficult papers as well. FR is a considerably easier paper, but SBR, after studying all those papers, when you come to SBR, you are ready. And SBR just introduces you to the professional level. So that's why it's not been made very difficult. And if you look at the pass percentages also of the past, in the past exams, if you look at the pass percentages, so you'll find that SBR has quite a high pass percentage, right? Let's just go through the syllabus. So what does the institute want you to be able to do after you are done with this paper? After you are done with this paper, what does the institute wants you to do? So firstly, they want you to consider the ethics, apply fundamental ethical and professional principles to ethical dilemmas, a situation of to be or not to be. So we are often stuck in our professional life, we are stuck with a situation known as to be or not to be. So the institute wants you to apply those fundamental ethical principles to those situations where you have this question of to do this or not do this. It's called ethical dilemma, and discuss the consequences if you do any unethical behavior, right? So that is the first thing that ACCA as an institute, as an institution, it wants you to understand and apply. Secondly, you need to evaluate the appropriateness of FRF, financial reporting framework. So the first chapter in itself talks about the financial reporting framework, and it needs you to critically discuss the changes that are happening. So for an example, it's written where if you do not have any treatment in the IFRS, in the International Financial Reporting Standards, अगर आपको कोई भी ट्रीटमेंट नहीं दिया हुआ है, just a minute, just give me a minute. अगर आपको कोई भी ट्रीटमेंट नहीं दिया हुआ है, so what will you do? So you will go again back to the FRF. How appropriate is the financial reporting framework? And whatever changes are happening, so critically discuss those changes. That's the second thing that the ACCA wants you to be able to do. If the FRF is appropriate for a given situation or not, you need to critically discuss that. And then whatever changes are happening in the accounting regulation. Thirdly, apply your professional judgment in the reporting of financial performance of a range of entities, right? So you need to apply your professional judgment in reporting financial performance, which is preparation of, and whatever financial performance, how will you apply your professional judgment, that how are they performing. And performance, when I say performance, it will be, whenever performance is concerned, it will be concerned with the stakeholders. So for shareholders, what is your duty towards shareholders? To maximize their value. Yes, you must have studied this in financial management, in performance management. I must have told you this. So this is what exactly it wants you to do, mainly in section C. Mainly in section C, they want you to apply your professional judgment and report on how they are, how those entities, it could be single entity, groups, public sector, NPO, whatever they are, you need to apply your professional judgment and consider if they are performing according to the shareholder, the stakeholders or not. So you need to apply your professional judgment. That's the third thing that the institute wants you to do, right? Am I making sense, guys? Great, great, very good. Then it wants you to prepare. So it might not ask you to prepare, but it wants you to prepare. And that is why when you will look at this part, the part E, the consolidated financial statement, it clearly gives you the how to prepare, the pro forma of how to prepare a consolidated statement of a group of entities. So it really wants you to prepare. It might not ask you in for the first question because it asks you discussion on that preparation, but it wants you to know how to prepare, right? Then interpret financial statement. I think we have considered this part in the performance management as well. So how you interpret financial statement, you see the profitability, liquidity, risk, right? And some other ratios. Profitability, net profit, gross profit, return on capital employed, asset turnover. Liquidity is what? Working capital. Working capital is what? Current asset minus current liabilities. So all those things that you've done, that's how you interpret the financial statements. Then what the institute wants you to do is communicate the impact of changes and potential changes in accounting regulation on financial reporting. So you need to communicate what impact the changes in regulation is taking place, whatever changes are taking place in the context of International Accounting Standard Board or the Financial Accounting Standard Board or the International Financial Reporting Standards, whatever changes they are making. So what impact that is having on your financial reporting. They want you to understand the impact of those changes as well. And lastly, there's something that has been added to every subject this time. I think after March, this has been added to every subject, which is demonstrate employability and technology skill, because ultimately you want to be employed, right, guys? So ultimately, what is your aim? You want to be employed. Baba, we need to make money. So I'll give you a very small example. A very small example that I'll give you. Once this guy from the United States of America came and spoke to a Gujarati guy and says, who's the supreme god? So there's this Gujarati guy and his assistant is sitting next to it. And this guy from United States who's coming here for business asked this question from the Gujarati. He says, Jesus is the supreme god. He said, oh yes, he's absolutely, he's the supreme god. So when that guy from the US gives him the contract and goes, so his assistant asks him that, Baba, why did you say that Jesus is the supreme god? He says, in my heart, I know that it is Krishna, but money is money, right? So ultimately, you need to have employability and technology skills so that you can make money, Baba, right? So that is the most important part. Customer is the king, and money is, if it is not God, it is not less than God, right? okay, you might have some problems, but crying in a comfortable house with a comfortable car feels much better than crying on the road, right? Right, guys? Right. Now, coming to the syllabus part. So, firstly, we need to consider fundamental ethical and professional principles, where we will be discussing different ethical behaviors. What are the ethical principles? We'll be discussing all that in detail, especially with respect to corporate reporting. Secondly, what we are going to do is the FRF, which is the big thing, the FRF. What is the FRF? How do you apply the FRF? What is the strength and what is the weakness of the accounting framework? Third part is the reporting of financial performance of a range of entities. So you will be given different standards over here. You'll have different standards where you'll be doing revenue recognition, fixed asset, which we also known as PPE, property, plant and equipment. Then financial instruments. Then we will be doing leases. Very interesting again, lease and lease back. I will tell you how these airline companies use this thing very efficiently. Sale and lease back. They save on a lot of money doing that. Then employee benefits. We'll be doing employee benefits like pension, and there are different type of employee benefits which we will be discussing. Employee benefits, the accounting. Basically, we are concerned about the accounting and the reporting part of these things, right? But to understand the operational part is as important as understanding the account, because without understanding the operational part, you cannot understand the accounting. If you do not know what is a defined benefit plan and what is a defined benefit obligation, so then you will not be able to differentiate why we are accounting differently for something and why we are accounting differently for something, whereas both of them look similar on paper. They might look similar on paper, but they might have a small difference. That's why we account for them differently. Then we'll be studying about income taxes, which will include a very important part again, which is called deferred tax. I don't think you've done deferred tax up till now, have you? Have you done deferred tax up till now, guys? क्या आप लोगों ने deferred tax किया है? नहीं किया है, ठीक है? So this is one thing which is very interesting, which is a refreshing part from all the mundane things that you've done till now. So this deferred taxes part will be very new, very interesting. Then we'll be doing provisions, contingencies, is a very regular thing, and events after the reporting date. There are certain rules that after reporting date, after the date of signing. So those are something that we'll be doing. Share-based payments, ESOPs, that you should always aim to obtain from whichever employer you are working. A lot of employers nowadays give ESOPs to employees. My last employer used to give almost 15 to 20 lakhs of ESOPs to its managers, to the general managers. So again, share-based payment becomes very important. Then fair value measurement. What is fair value measurement? How do we measure fair value? What is fair? So that we will do. Then report. So another thing, fair value measurement is not a small topic. It's a huge topic, and it's something to do with your derivatives and all. So that is something also that we will be considering. Then reporting requirements of small and medium sized entities. So we'll be doing what kind of reporting requirements these SMEs, the small and medium type entities, suppose your shop owner or a library owner, your gym owner, what kind of reporting requirements do these have in your IFRS or your financial reporting framework? Then we'll be doing some other reporting issues which are there. And then coming to the big fish, that is the group entities, which is consolidation. So firstly, we'll be doing group accounting, and we'll be doing how to make cash flow statements for group entities. We'll be reading about that. We'll be doing questions about that. Then associates and joint arrangements. Then the changes in group structure. What do you do when group structure is changed, right? And then foreign transaction and entities. Lastly, interpretation of financial statement, which will appear in, which we had discussed, which will be here. Apply professional judgment. Okay, one more thing. My Zoom is going to end in every 40 minutes. I'll restart it and you can join using the same link. Right, guys? So this is a disclaimer that I'm giving. Right? So interpret financial statements for different stakeholders. Analysis and interpretation of financial information and measurement. So you see, there is your syllabus does not give a lot of weightage other than consolidation part. If you leave out the consolidation part, it is a very balanced syllabus. That we will give you scoring opportunities, we will give you tough things as well, but we will give you like ethical principles. 20 marks. 20 marks are for free. I'm telling you, 20 marks are for free. If you just understand the principles and you write down, you don't have to write the principles also, you just understand the principles while studying and read the scenario well, understand the scenario, write in your own words, and I guarantee you those 20 marks are very easy to achieve, because I have achieved those. So I guarantee you those are very easy marks. Then this interpretation part, you've been doing it time and again. PM, FM, FR, you've been doing this interpretation part time and again. My score, I think it was 63, around 63 I had in SBR with just 1 month of preparation. I opened the book a month prior because I was doing SBL. SBL was a bigger subject. I cleared both of these together. And mind you, I was doing regular work as well. I was auditing an entity. I was doing a stock audit of an entity. So along with that, I did. So I'm sure you guys are way ahead of me. You guys are way smarter. So you can score even better. I had little time. You have more time, right? So you can definitely score better than me. You guys are smarter than me. Why do I say that you guys are smarter than me? Because the next generation, be it anywhere, in profession, in family, anywhere, the next generation is always smarter because it has seen the pitfalls which the earlier generation has seen. Right? So that's why I say you guys are way smarter than me. Then interpretation, then impact of changes and potential changes. We've discussed this, whatever current issues. And lastly, employability and technology skills, which we will be covering. We will be doing Excel based questions. We will be doing Word, like MS Word based questions. So we will be covering this as well quite extensively, employability and technology skills. Anything, I'm open for questions now if you want to ask, and then we will move towards a small part which we'll be doing today. Will be understanding accounts and accounting. Anything that you want to? Okay, I've got this book which was valid till June 2021, and it's a Kaplan book. So I believe we'll be following Kaplan only because Kaplan, I think, is better detailed as far as SBR is concerned, right? So as far as SBR is concerned, the Kaplan book is more detailed. For other subjects like the taxation subject and all, I always follow BPP. But for something like SBR, I think maybe I am more comfortable with Kaplan. So you can follow other books as well. I would suggest that you do other practice revision kits, like I have told you to do in other subjects, right?